God. Oh my God. Feeding the
Awesome, sis.
homeless.
Awesome.
Thank
Don't
you.
encourage him. Feeding the homeless.
Anytime someone says, "Why did they throw that away? It could have been donated to a homeless person," when referring to extremely expired or broken items. While cleaning out my parents' house before they moved, I emptied their fridge and pantry and separated out the expired stuff. My dad went through and gathered most of the food into a donation box and then scooped in all the expired food as well. Some of this stuff was years expired and even opened. My partner and I kept trying to remove it, and eventually it came down to an argument where my dad insisted that the homeless would take whatever they could get. My dad had never had the experience of going hungry, while my partner had volunteered at food banks in the past. He was peeved that my dad was treating homeless people as less than human and insisting they should be grateful to eat his garbage. Once my parents had left, I donated the expired food to the garbage can. If my dad was so concerned about wasting it, he should have either used it or donated it years ago when it was still safe to eat.
I'll let Diaz go first since he's putting himself on a 2-minute timer here. So
You know, I'm actually going to go off the beaten path here because I think this is just obvious. I mean, this is what Tone Deaf Sunday, I guess, is what we're going with. But um, the thing I'm going to go off the path with is like in the beginning of the segment, he said something to the effect of, um, "There are homeless people who would like to have this food," or it's like you doing this, but that could have been used for that over there. And that to me is like the most in insulting, low energy deflection that people just love to use, right? It's a way to kill a conversation or a discussion, right? It what do we it's going to be the homeless, it's going to be veterans, it's going to be children, um and it's going to be the elderly, right? Name your subject, we'll pull one of them, dust them off of the shelf, and say, well, you could have taken care of them instead of doing that. And that just is so irksome to me because what is your initiative to help that group before we had this conversation, right? What were you doing to help the veterans directly before we could even have a conversation about throwing away food or sending money? Oh no, sending money to another country like Ukraine or something. What were you doing
sorry,
to
Ambassador.
help this group you care so much about? And usually the answer is nothing. You might be talking about it, but you ain't did. You ain't raised a dollar. You ain't knocked on a door. But at the moment that it's convenient for you, now is well, you know, this could have gone to some homeless people. Well, you know what else could go to homeless people? A fresh loaf of bread. You know, um, the food when you bought groceries, you could have bought two of a few of those things and given one of those away at the time that you bought it. So it's just one of those things that just kind of gets my proverbial goat.
This is no more than people who, quite honestly, don't give. You try to work on your talking. I'm trying to work on my cussing. So these are people who don't give a rat's butt about the down and trodden until it comes to a situation like this. They're cleaning out the refrigerator, they're cleaning out the closet, they're cleaning out it, and stuff like that. And even to this moment, I can still look them dead in the face and go, you know what? You still don't give a rat's butt about them. This is just your moment to feel good about yourself at the very least one time. At the worst case scenario, you're looking at it for a tax write off.
Don't they call it like virtue signaling or something like that? I don't know if that's the right application of the term, but
I think it is, but it's just one of those things where you haven't felt good about yourself in a long time, and the great moment of you cleaning out your first of all, dude, because okay, I don't know anybody like this. I mean, we throw leftovers away. I got it. If you got enough expired stuff in your refrigerator, in your pantry, that it can fill up a box, ew. Like, what are you doing? How is
These
that
are
even
dry goods, bro.
possible? Huh?
Dry goods. You can get there fast and easy.
No, he said they had expired.
They had expired.
I know, but you can get there easy. Like you buy it, you thought you wanted it, didn't need it. Now it's in the back of the cabinet. You keep buying what you do want. Next thing you know,
10 years later.
I'm sorry. I mean, I guess I married the right one because this woman ain't gonna let nothing. She gets a whiff of something that don't smell right, it is immediately going out.
But dry goods won't give you that. And then if you also have a situation like I think he was saying this is his elderly parent or something. So what we don't know is like what time frame did these parents grow up? Because if they grew up in the 1930s, 40s era, they were so deathly afraid of ever running out again that they would have not just what's in the house, they'd have stuff in the thing on garage, stuff in the shed. I mean, I'm not trying to make an excuse for that piece of it, but I am saying that's how that part can occur. You know, his blindness to those who have less is unfortunate, but I would also say the partner is rightfully indignant, but so you volunteered the soup kitchen sometimes. Does that make you better than your grandfather? No. Just means you're different. So give some grace. You know, I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I'm overthinking it because that's what I do. Sorry.
But speaking of what Parker and Learning was doing, is the same thing, clothing.
Care system is. When I used to help a charity, we'd get people donating literal rags, torn t-shirts, and ruined trousers for the homeless saying, it's good for somebody. No, it's not. These are worse than the clothes they are currently wearing. Why do some people think homeless people want junk? Don't they deserve something?
So it's the same thing. And Parker and Learn Life said it. What's worse, donated expired food to a food bank or donating dirty clothes to Goodwill?
They're both equal.
It's both.
Expired food is worse.
The expired food will make you sick and go to the hospital. Dirty clothes, you can still, I mean, as a person that shops at the Goodwill, I wash everything before I wear it. So you can still, even though that's trifling, you and you donate dirty clothes to the Goodwill, you could still ideally, wash them.
I worked at one that did.
But
yeah, I was saying some places do have their wash and dry in the back, and they wash it. Me personally, even if I bought new clothes, I wash them before I put them on.
I'm washing them like nah.
I'm sorry,
I only wash good. I don't wash my brand new clothes most times.
I wash my brand new clothes.
I'll be honest.
There's people who let me try this on. No, I don't like it, and
they put it back and they all funky. Yeah, I used to work at Macy's. Oh, that would be so. Men would wear that heavy cologne, and then it'd be on the clothes. Ooh.
He doesn't know that food banks throw any expired food that gets donated to them. So
they do all the time.
So even if he was to
donate, they're gonna throw it away. But
they're gonna throw it away.
Yeah, this guy is a perfect example of his lips, and I'm paraphrasing what the Bible says, but his lips say he want to help, but his heart is far from helping. You don't give people expired food. You don't do that. That could make them sick. Literally sick.
But you have to think, and I'm not taking up for him. I'm just thinking of a thought process. When you're hungry, you're hungry. It's better to have something than nothing at all.
Marlon, why? That does not excuse you giving somebody your expired food. You'd be better off giving them animal food. You would almost be better off just giving them animal food.
Yeah, there been some times when you was broke enough. There was a
No,
lot of
animal
people.
food is way more expensive than people food.
I'll take your word for it. Last video before the hour, just to go out on a. I don't know. I don't know if y'all gonna laugh at it or get pissed off because this is a weird day with people putting themselves on 2-minute timers, and so I don't know which way this video
Say
is
my
gonna.
name, Marlon. Say my name.
See, you should have sung it.